What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It's been a long time since we've done a proper Let's Play, but today we're beginning something pretty interesting and unique. So, in Pokemon, there are types of locks, which are like Shiny Lock, Egg Lock, and most well-known Nuzlocke. But today we're going to be doing something similar. We're going to be taking the concept of that and bringing it to Gran Turismo 4. Gran Turismo 4 Nuzlocke does exist, actually. I believe it's Yellowbird's doing this playthrough as a Nuzlocke. But today we're doing what I call the Germanlocke, which is, are we going to be able to beat Gran Turismo 4 exclusively with German cars? Now, I had to kind of take a few liberties, unfortunately. The used car lots did not bless me this playthrough. All of the used car lots are filled with Japanese cars and French cars and British cars and no German cars. So I utilized a save file that I had on this virtual memory card on PCSX2 that happened to have some credits on it. So I was able to snag some credits off of that and pretty much doubled what I had to start with. So a lot of people are probably going to be a little upset by that, but in my defense, we couldn't even start the challenge without some sort of help on that front because there's no options. There's no options for German cars in the used lots right now. Now, if I'd been lucky and was able to get a Mark IV GTI off the rip, that'd be great. I believe that the starting lineup and all of the used showrooms are the same every playthrough. So let's see. I highly doubt it. I think it's like a $50,000 car. Just go right out of the gate with the twin turbo R32. If I had been a little bit more lucky on the currency I had on my GT3 save, we could start the game with a 500 horsepower HPA R32. That would be fun. But we're going to have to still play it a little bit like normal. We're going to have to start off with something kind of slow. So let's kind of weigh our options out first. Now, obviously, I'm a Volkswagen owner. For those who don't know, in real life, I have a GTI. So obviously I'm going to want to start off with a VW, but I've already looked and the only one I can afford is the Lupo at this point in the game. And while we can modify that Lupo a little bit, we're going to be driving a Lupo for the first part of the game. So let's check out Audi. I highly doubt there'll be any we can afford. I mean, even the A2 is out of range for us here. S3's 40,000 credits, stuff like that. I really want one of these in real life. And one of these. And one of these. And one of those two. Might as well just start collecting them. So let's see. I don't think... Yeah, I figured the Quattro was a $90,000 car. We weren't going to be getting it. Let's see about any BMWs. We got anything we can afford in this realm? Of course not. A little bit out of range, 120i. What is this, a 4-banger? It is. We didn't get this specific version of the 1 Series here. We only got the 2-door, and then even that, we only got the 128, the 135, and the 1M when that was a thing. Z4 is 75,000 credits. My goodness. Okay. Let's see. I didn't check the classic lot. Let's see if there's anything hiding in the classic lot we can make use of. 2002, unfortunately, doesn't have a price tag, so I was really kind of vying. There's a shot we could start off with a 2002 Turbo, but unfortunately for me, doesn't look like that's happening. Let's see, Opel. Their classic lineup consists of the Calibra. As much as I love the Calibra, no price tag, and obviously don't have the money to start off with it. So we do have the Corsa. We could start off with a Corsa, just like every stereotypical English car enthusiast ever. Unfortunately, the Speedster, which is one of my favorite GM, if not my favorite GM product ever. I know it's a hot take, being from the US, the land of the Corvette and the Camaro. I absolutely adore the Opel Speedster, or Vauxhall VX220 if you're from the UK. Obviously, Mercedes, I highly doubt we'll be able to get a Mercedes. Yeah, I mean, I figured right out of the gate, all these cars were going to be at least 100K. It doesn't look like the A-Class is hiding in here anywhere. And obviously, the only one that's for sale in the classic slot is 67,000 credits. So, no luck for us with Merc either. So, it looks like our only option on day one of the game with no like mods or whatsoever to like the lineup of cars is to buy the 2002 Lupo 1.4. For me, right now. Obviously, if I'd been able to transfer more credits over from GT3, it'd be able to be a little different. This question is, what do we do? Do we do yellow? Do we do green? The blues? Tornado red, obviously, is kind of a big color for me. I think we're going to do tornado red to start. Yeah, I hate that I had to kind of, take some liberties with the game to be able to do this Germanlocke, but it is what it is. Yeah, let's go ahead and do some tuning. Let's see. Let's see if HPA actually supports this car in the tuner village. It doesn't look like they do. Yeah, that's a shame. But I guess they don't like even in the video game they only care about the big models. My car actually used to be tuned by HPA, believe it or not. My my GTI back not too long after I got it. That was like one of the first things I did. So let's see, we could just blow our money for 5 horsepower. Actually, let's do an oil change. I always forget these older GT games, you have to do an oil change right away. Let's see, we're going to go ahead and pop an oil change on our Lupo. It looks fine, but for the conspiracy theory that doing an oil change on these cars right away makes them better, I'm not taking any chances. So I'm going to go ahead and do the oil change before I even mess with it, because Gran Turismo 3 actually did take that into account. If you did an oil change first thing when you bought a car, you for some reason gained horsepower. So I believe that was something that went away in GT6, I think. I don't think that kept on past that, but I know it's not in GT7 because I tried it out of curiosity and it didn't work. Alright, so let's go back to the German stuff, to the showroom for VW. And let's see what we can do. I'm trying to think what the best use of our very limited funds for this car is. Obviously, we can do the stage 1. Honestly, this is a better option than the exhaust. It costs less, too. So we're going to do that. We're going to throw stage 1 NA tuning on this car. I don't know if I have enough for the chip. Nope, figured I didn't. Let's see if there's any upgrades in the tire department. That's the turbos. I'm an idiot. There we go, tires. You'd think with how much I've played this game, I would know where the tires are. Unfortunately, it looks like I don't have any luck going there. And I think we've about done all we can. We added an extra 30 horsepower, which I think is going to be very beneficial for us in these early races with this car. Yeah, let's see. I think there's absolutely nothing else I can get for this car with 680 credits. So let's hit the track. We're going to head down to our beginner events and what looks like to the Sunday Cup. So yeah, I'm curious to see how this is going to go, because this car doesn't give me much hope that we're going to be competitive straight out the gate. I am going to have to remap my controls as well, because this is a fresh playthrough. I didn't bring over my settings from my first playthrough, so I'm going to do that. Let's see. Okay, controls have been remapped. Maybe one day I'll figure out how to get my Thrustmaster T300 paired up with this, so I don't look like a complete amateur. Alright, so here's our grid. We've got the Fiat Abarth. This is the older Abarth. I don't know how to pronounce that word. I don't want to sound like I'm swearing in a language that I'm not fluent in, so I'm not going to say it. The Peugeot 106 S16. The Scion XB. I haven't heard that name in a very long time. We have the Polo GTI, and we have a 147 2.0 Twin Spark from Alfa Romeo. So this is going to be tough, I think, but I'm hoping our superior weight to the Polo will allow us to be able to get past it. The Fiat's going to be kind of a nightmare, though, I feel like. So, without further ado, let's see how this goes. I actually think I forgot to change something. Hold on. Oops. Forgot to change my transmission settings. I do not want to race with automatic. Alright, take 2, now that I got my stuff set right. Let's see. Oh gosh, a little bit of a frame drop. I don't see that in this computer often. I usually only see this game perform rough on my Steam Deck, not my actual PC. Alright, come on. I know these cars are slow, but I want to get this show on the road. Alright, right away we're getting gapped. That's wonderful for us. Let's see if I can bring it back a little bit. Okay. We might not be too far off. So we can swing around the Polo here. Okay, we got the Scion in front of us now. Let's see. Come on. It's just like the Forza 4 stuff. We started off with the Fox. Another really... I think the Fox is just a Lupo, am I wrong? Maybe the European VW guys that get all the fun stuff we don't get here can tell me. Alright, we're already up in the podium places, which is give me a tiny bit of hope. Now, obviously, this would be a little different if I was actually able to get a German car for 10,000 credits. Yeah, that's kind of the unfortunate part, is that I couldn't do that. So really, in all honesty, with a fresh save file that doesn't have any access to Gran Turismo 3, or access to Gran Turismo 3 that doesn't have a lot of credits on it, you're kind of SOL. And that's if the lineup doesn't change every playthrough. Like, I'm 90% sure the starting lineup in GT4 is the same every time. I don't know if we're going to take the dub here. We're going to at least get second. Some very valuable credits for this early playthrough. I think I need to disable the traction helpers a little bit, because it seems like it's really bogging this thing down. Yeah, see, it's really bogging me down. Oh, maybe? No, I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, 4/10 off of the W, but dang. Right away, we're already starting off on a bad foot, because we got beat by the Fiat. Barely. I feel like if I had the nannies turned off, might not have been so bad. We might have been able to hang up. So let's go ahead. We'll just go ahead and go straight to the retry. And I'm actually going to go over here and disable the traction control and stuff, because I think that this car might be a little happier without it. I think, honestly, I opened up the wrong menu again, didn't I? For some reason, my DualSense wasn't wanting to pair to this PC anymore. Don't know why. It just won't. So I hooked up my 8BitDo SM30 Pro that I've had for quite a while now, but I haven't really gotten a lot of use out of it aside from the Switch. But this thing's even got rumble support with PCSX2. Like, it's honestly not a bad option. And I don't know, it feels weird playing a PlayStation 2 title on a modern PC with a Super Nintendo-inspired controller. It'll be better in this than I am in GT2, because I've been playing this game for so many years. I'm familiar with the physics, but GT2 I was not. And I got flamed a couple of good times for my driving on GT2, but I promise I'm not as bad. Let's see. There we go, some valuable 600 credits. Alright, let's skedaddle on to our next event. So, now that I've got all like the stuff disabled, this car should be fairly competitive. I was honestly kind of surprised. I expected this car to not be remotely competitive in this at all. I expected this car to be absolutely, positively slow. So, the fact that we were able to compete there was pretty inspiring. So, it gives me some hope that this little VW Lupo will be able to put in some work. Holy frame drop. This little Lupo will be able to put in some work. Alright, let's see. Round 2, we got a Miata. Let's see. The sworn enemy of Lupos on a track. Oh, come on. The Scion just completely got in the way. Come on. Come on. There we go. Off to the races. Let's see if we can squeeze by the Miata. Got an MG, it looks like, in front of us. Oh boy, come on. I'm not trying to whack y'all, but you're like right in my way. And this is definitely not iRacing level physics. See if we can get a bit of a draft off the Alpha. The advantage of these like slower cars in the early game is you can pretty much drive them flat out for the most part. I mean, obviously you can when you're going into a corner, but you don't really have to have as much throttle modulation. I don't know why he hit the brakes. I could have easily just stayed in it. I just was copying him. I should have definitely copied him more. that was some pretty gnarly understeer there. Okay, come on. Oh, not final lap. I don't know why I thought this was the final lap. This course always perplexed me when I was a kid, but actually I've come to enjoy it, even though it is very easy to cut the course. You can easily cut that chicane there. Let's see if we can swing it around here. Start our final lap. Hopefully I'm not going to get copyright claim for the music in the background. I totally forgot this game had full licensed music in it. And it's not like modern stuff where it disables it. You could use the right thumbstick. Oh, that's... Oh, shoot. Whoops. Money shift. So yeah, you can easily cut the chicane. I'm gonna throw this completely just goofing around in the controls. Honestly, the fact that I'm this far ahead of everyone, as you can see on the mini-map, I'm quite a bit ahead. Pretty surprising. Uh-oh. Don't understeer to the pit lane. Oh, I'm having a lot of fun, honestly. The Lupo, as slow as it is actually kind of fun. I mean, you're just constantly feeling like you're on edge because, I mean, it's got these little baby tires on it. And I'm sitting here fighting for grip. Like, it's honestly quite fun. Okay. Alright. Got ourselves some cash. Let's head on to our next adventure here. I'm going to try to get through the Sunday Cup a little bit with you guys in this one. It's going to be, these videos are going to be about as long as the latter half of the GT2 Plus videos were. So bear with me. I know they're going to be lengthy, but I want to get a lot of content done. I don't want this to be a 50, 60 episode series. I want this to be kind of similar to the GT2 Plus stuff, where it wasn't very lengthy. So let's see. All right, this round we've got a Peugeot 106. We've got a Honda CRX, the Ballad Sports CRX specifically. We got a Fiat Barchetta. We got a Renault Megane. We've got the Mini, and yeah, then we got us. Oh, a standing start race. That's new. First one we've had so far. Let's see if our little Lupo will be able to fight from the grid. A little bit of wheel spin. Hopefully I didn't just short shift to oblivion there. We are going to immediately be fighting the Mini at least, so this thing's got a little bit of grunt to it to get around the Mini. This track is probably not going to play into our strong suit because, again, we only make 130 horsepower, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong because I'm flying up on the Barchetta pretty quickly, and the Renault, and then the CRX. Okay, never mind, this car is definitely meant for this because I am blowing past everybody before I've even gotten out of turn one. Honestly, kind of surprised. I figured this car would be pretty slow. I mean, it is slow, but, you know, maybe it's not as bad as I thought it would be by any means. Alright, there we go. Around we go. I usually don't play in third person, but for thumbnail purposes, it will automatically select it. See, this thing I'm having a lot of fun with. Oh gosh, come on. A little too much understeer for my comfort there, but the tires are still very cold. This is the 1.4 model Lupo, it's not the Lupo GTI, unfortunately. Is that a center-mounted exhaust tip? I just noticed that. We don't get the Lupo in the US, so seeing them in the game is about as close as I've gotten to see them in real life. The only car, like, off the top of my head that I can remember seeing in Gran Turismo that doesn't come to the States is the Nissan March. I was in Jamaica in 2015 and saw a Nissan March, the same exact model that was in GT5. I can't remember if it's like the SR or something specific, but yeah. Only interesting thing is, like, with being on a slightly better screen than an old TV, I can actually read the Lupo badge a little bit. And I see a 16 valve little badge on there, so it's nice to see. I do wish I had all the mods for, like, the like simplified interior view. I've become so used to racing in first person that that's kind of how I operate now. Like I said, I play iRacing, which forces you first person. Oops, that was my e-brake. Definitely not the right button. I'm used to playing on an actual PlayStation controller, so my Y button on my Super Nintendo controller is where my square would be, but it's not. Well, it's actually what I do have set to square, because I have circle and X as my circle and cross as my upshift and downshift. So it's pretty much the setup I run on all of the controller like setups I use for games. That was the way it was in GT2 as well, but I don't think I ever hit the e-brake by accident. Come on, little Lupo. Not too bad. I mean, this car's definitely got it. I was kind of surprised by that. Kind of surprised we were in the fight here. So, very impressed, very happy. Kudos to the Lupo. That is a W, you know, 3 in a row for the Lupo. A little 1.4 put in work. And across the line. Uneventful, really. I totally expected this to be on par with these guys, and maybe if I didn't, use that 5 grand on the stage 1 setup, it wouldn't be an issue, and I would be able to get completely waxed by them, or it'd be a closer race. Another 600 credits. Yippee. Okay. Let's back out of here. It's definitely going to have to turn the music off. I forget that the music even is a thing, because I don't want to get copyright claimed. Only got 2 races left. We've got the Clubman Stage Route 5 and a race at Motegi. Motegi gave me a hard time in Tourist Trophy when I was younger. Goodness gracious, that track was the bane of my existence. So hopefully you can avoid that issue. I didn't even mention the grid. I do see a Mazda Demio in front of us, or as it was sold here, the Mazda 2. My girlfriend actually conveniently has a what would technically be considered a Demio. It's just sold here as the Yaris IA, which is also known as the Mazda 2. So, you know, same thing. Got 206 in front of us. That's a car that I only really found out about as a kid through Need for Speed Underground. I didn't play GT2 or GT4 as a kid. That was a game I got late in life. I think I was like 13 or 14 when I finally got access to GT4. And I was playing Gran Turismo 3 at 2, or not 2, like 4. So, I mean, I was like, that was a good gap. I skipped from GT3 straight to 5. I had 5 Prologue on rental from Blockbuster when that was a thing. And then I got a copy of GT5 for Christmas when it came out. And never touched GT3 again after that, except for when I've done videos for you guys. And recently, whenever I just want to sit down and have some nostalgia. Alright, come on. Up the hill we go. Not too bad so far. We're definitely a little bit fighting from the back, more than we were the last few races. We were in the lead fairly quickly at high speed ring. We got an Eagle Talon. I just noticed that was in front of me, but we were able to get around him. Looks like we got a 206 convertible here. I don't know if we're able to take the W here, guys. That car up front's kind of giving me some trouble, but luckily we have some credits now we can use if I do get beat here. To try to squeeze a tiny bit more power out of the Lupo. Oh, a little switcheroo there. Didn't hit him, but I still took the wall. So, yikes. Yeah, I don't think a dub's coming out of this one. He's running away from me. Ah, that was rough. That was really rough. Yeah, that's quite a lofty L I was just handed. The Lupo for the second L for the Lupo so far. So it proves that even with a little bit of bonus credits that I'm still not invincible. A lot of people complain that I picked overpowered cars in GT2, so I'm trying to be relative-ish, obviously. I'm going to pick the cars that I love at the end of the day, and I'm going to be, you know, with cars that I find more enjoyable, but, you know, I am going to try to keep it in spec. So how come I can beat the MGF on a different track, but here I get completely blown away by it? Basic suspension kit. Luckily we can. We're going to do the sports suspension kit. Just as PS2-y as it always has. Alright, so let's see now if the little bit of power we haven't added any since this race began. Like I said, I'm not trying to be overpowered this time. I want this to actually be like a battle. And this is a Lupo GTI in front of us. Come on, we gotta, you know, put our superiority down a little bit, but a little 1.4 is better. Looks like that's a McGann, I think. Just passed. We got a CRX. All right, we're already up in the podium positions, which is making me feel better. It does handle a lot better, but nothing like super awe-inspiring by any means. I'm having a much easier time driving it though. Looks like we got another Renault up ahead of us. Let's see if we can squeeze up to him pretty easily. I was hoping we get a rematch with the NG, but at the same time, it's probably best that I don't, because I don't want to get beat by it again. Let's see. Alright, coming out of the tunnel, we're firing off. Let's see if we can catch him on the straight here, which looks like we're going to be able to do. Well, that's the older McGann. Oh, he tried it. He tried to pit maneuver me there. He didn't get it though. Sucks to suck. Alright. Heavy into turn one. He's trying to keep up. Come on, little Lupo. Okay. It does drive 10 times better with the revised suspension. It's the most basic kit in the game too, but it drives like really solid. Obviously, I'm sure with the race kit, this thing would be ridiculous, but unfortunately, that's not how these things go. Oh man, I botched this complex up so bad. Let's see, I've got about a second and some change on them. A little tight. Could be worse though. It's crazy. That's all I had to do to really be able to win this race, because like I was fighting to keep second place in the last run, but now I'm like actually a threat. There we go. And that'll be across the line with another dub. So 2 L's so far for the Lupo, but not too shabby of a start. All right, let's scoot ahead to our Motegi rounds, and that'll wrap up our first official championship with the Lupo. Final race of the Sunday Cup. Let's see what we got. We got Twin Ring Motegi, Short West. There's a little bit of a fight at the end of that last race, so let's see if we have any luck. We got a NA Miata, we got another 147 with a Lupo GTI, the 206, and a Honda Fit. Now, being in the US, there's a pretty gnarly Honda Fit track racing scene, so outside of straight line speed not being that car's advantage, it should be a pretty interesting race. The Miata on pole is going to be dangerous for me, but we'll make it work. Well, let's get started. Longest like cinematic ever. There we go. We are underway. We got 3 laps here, Motegi. Let's see if we can make some work of these guys. The Fit kind of is doing what I expected it to do. Oh, Balkan third so hard. Come on. Come on. There we go. Got around the Fit. Let's see if we can catch up to everybody else. Okay, we managed to get on the Peugeot, but we have the Lupo GTI in front of us now. Let's see if we can squeeze by him. A little bump there. Didn't hurt anybody. Trading some paint. A little incident. See, I can't quite tell what's in front of me with this lighting. Let's see if we can catch it, though. I don't know, it seems fairly even on the straights. I'm getting a tiny bit of a draft. A little late braking. That paid off pretty well. Well, that was the Alpha. The green distracted me. I wasn't able to tell what it was. Thought it was them again for a second. Alright, so that's just going to be a battle with the Miata. Now, I was very quick through this sector in the first lap. Let's see if I can, well, accidentally cut the course for one. But catch up the Miata a little bit. Make this last lap a bit of a duel. Maybe I won't have to do a duel in the last lap because I'm already on his tail on the straight. Come on. There we go. A little bit of a drag race here. There we go. We got ahead of him. Oh gosh, I should probably pay attention. We'll swing around the first turn here. Little Miata's got some punch to it. That was a little bit of a drag race there. There we go. Come on. Third gear at 85 miles an hour. That is really tall. Crap. Just trying not to cut it that time. I know I got a little close to cutting on lap 1, and I definitely cut that corner in lap 2. There we go. Little Lupo got it done. That's the Sunday Cup completed. Just like that. That one was not quite as eventful as last race. The little drag race there on the second lap was really fun, though. That was interesting. Little Lupo's not too bad. It was pretty fun. All right, I know the prize car. I think it's the Auto Bianchi, isn't it? The A112FR. I'm gonna sell it because I have no interest in keeping it. I know it's like worth like a few pennies, but Pretty sure it's the Auto Banshee, isn't it? Yep, the A112 of Barth. At least it's not an ugly color. Granted, I would have preferred it in black. Kind of iconic color for that. So we've got a handful of races we can do. Obviously, some of these cars will have to swap out with different ones. The FF challenge is probably going to be our next big contestant. Doesn't have any like typical opponents. FR challenge is going to be interesting because we'll have to find like a Mercedes or a BMW for that. Because obviously Audi and Volkswagen don't really do rear-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive, I mean, we can pretty much snag any Audi or possibly the Golf R32 if I can muster the credits up for that. And lightweight K-Cups will be the only race we can't do here because obviously K cars are a Japanese thing. Let's see, in the 3400 millimeters or less on the length. So you may be able to squeeze something in here. I'll have to look. Obviously, we cannot do the truck race because that is domestic only, American only, aside from the Tacoma. So we'll be able to do the majority of these. MR, we can pull out the Roof 3400S, the Boxster, pretty much. So I'm kind of formulating in my head what we're doing here. Let's see if now the Mark IV has made an appearance here, because the lineup should have updated. Let's see, we've got Lexus. There's the A-Class. I was curious where the A-Class was hiding. I think we got the better deal in the end with the Lupo, but we could have wound up with an A-Class. The Aston V8 Vantage. It's a gem. We got a TT. That would not be a half bad option if I had 31 credits, 31K to spare on it. Let's see here if anything is shown up here that we could have gotten. Doesn't look like it. Looks like it's still only Japanese stuff in here. The historic room. I think, if I remember correctly, the Mark I shows up sometimes in historic. But it doesn't... I may be wrong on that front. Let's see. Yeah. So, pretty much if we had waited a few days in game, the best we could have gotten is an A-Class. But unfortunately for us, that's not how that worked out. So, yeah, that is the first little bit of GT4 Germanlocke. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.